Welcome to Hops News, the trusted source in beer culture news. Here's your host, Jay Brew, with special guests, the Hoppy Mommy, Lucky, and Nash.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Hops News. We've got a good one lined up for you tonight. Hoppy's got a trick lined up for you guys. I think maybe not, but we'll have a good episode regardless. It's opening day tomorrow, so it's gonna be good. You know it's gonna be good. Obviously, good to see baseball back. I think there's a couple of ball stadiums that are going all out, opening the gates and just allowing fans to fill the stadium, so that's a good thing. Looking forward to that for sure, as I'm repping my team, the Detroit Tigers. Hopefully they'll be able to put the season together and do something this season. But probably not. Haven't done much in a couple of seasons, so not expecting too much. But it's going to be a good episode. We're going to talk some Twitter trends with Mash. We're going to talk some March Madness with Lucky. And I think Hoppy's going to talk a little bit about Easter beer on this episode.
Jesus' blood.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Oh, man, I'm drinking a red beer.
Nice. Let's go check in with our very own Lucky there in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's got somebody puked on the front of his shirt, or that's bird shit or something with the Milwaukee Brewers there. Lucky, how are things in Milwaukee?
Things are going good. I'm no longer in Milwaukee, though. I'm in Milwaukee County. I'm in Brown Deer. My background is different tonight, and I moved this weekend, so finally getting kind of settled in. The fucking movers broke my desk, so I bought a desk on Amazon, and it's much smaller than the one before, which is crazy because my one before was really small. So we're doing good, though. I'm super excited for opening day, even though the brewer, my dad's going to opening day tomorrow, so I'm excited for him, but they're not. I think they're at 25% capacity, and there's no tailgating, which really sucks, but you know, it seems like we're heading in the right direction. But yeah, I'm doing good.
I think
just
you guys
living
will be heading in the right direction. I just seen part of some news out of Wisconsin that your Supreme Court struck down your mask mandate. So
yep,
looks like some Supreme Courts are finally putting governors in their place and letting them know that they're overreaching a little bit. So going to be pretty cool to see what comes of that.
We're already kind of like hit or miss. Like the county I'm in right now, they don't really have any. Milwaukee County doesn't have the mandatory masks everywhere. It's just when you're like downtown city of Milwaukee. So once you get outside of it, it's kind of like anything goes, which kind of is why I moved out of the city. But yeah, we're starting to open back up. But yeah, I'm super excited for the Final Four and a little bit of baseball. I didn't know you were a Tigers fan, Jay.
Yeah, man, I'm like an old school Tigers fan. I remember 1984 when they won the series. Going to some of their ball games that season with my grandfather, sitting in Old Tiger Stadium. One of my teachers in middle school had a piece of turf that had been stepped on by several Tigers that year. I mean, Tigers was big, man. Yeah, Tigers at home is big, man. Yep. Obviously, they ain't done shit in the past couple of years, but they've got the talent. They just can't put it together.
Yeah, we have one talented player, and that's Christian Yelich. Outside of that, we haven't done much.
The Red Sox just ship all their talented players off, so at least you have somebody.
It's all right. You got a World Series recently. Many of them, but most recent on this panel.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this season gets started. At least they're playing, right? At least they're going to start the season and play the season and get that going. Obviously, some stadiums will have more attendees than others, but glad to see things.
Yeah, I think isn't Texas wide open? I think they have everybody for opening day tomorrow. 100%.
Yep.
All of the Texas stadiums, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Florida Marlins haven't followed suit and some of those guys, Tampa Bay and all of those guys, because they've been partying for a while. So
The Red Sox are letting fans back in. It's because the Bruins and Red Sox, they all start letting fans in. I don't think it's full capacity yet, but they're letting people in.
It's all right. Maybe it'll be full capacity by the time playoff season rolls around.
The NFL has said that they're letting full capacity stadiums in because I'm looking at coming out to Green Bay to catch a
to tell me when.
probably October.
Tell me when and I'll be there.
My birthday's in October, so my friend and I are probably going to come out. Josh, one of our Hops News family members, my heterosexual life mate, we're probably going to come out in October for a Packers game.
Dude, I'll be there. Can I come?
Hell yeah, let's go.
Sick. Be there in a heartbeat.
that'd be a good time for sure. Let's go check in with Hoppy down there in the always partying Florida and Orlando specifically. Hoppy, how are things in Orlando this evening?
They're good. Even though Florida doesn't have a mask mandate, Orange County has always, well, not always. We've had one for quite a while now, but you can't enforce it. You can't punish anybody. So, I mean, some places it kind of just depends on how strict that place is going to be. Some places have signs that say you must have a mask on, and some places don't. But then you go 30 minutes east in New Smyrna, COVID doesn't exist anymore, and nobody has a mask, and there's no mask mandate. So we're all over the place as far as that. But yeah, the capacity stuff, everybody's been partying for a while. But no, it's perfect boat time. So we got to take the boat out this weekend. Perfect weather for that. There was a shit ton of boaters out, and I got to help brew a beer at Castle Church Brewing this weekend. So that was pretty cool. That'll be ready April 22nd. It's a blonde ale with lime, strawberry, and rum-soaked oak chips.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
yes, I actually got to add the hops. We had Citra and Cashmere hops, and I got to do the mash and put it out for the farmer to get it and all that. So it was a lot of fun.
The monster mash.
I did. I sang that when I was mashing. I said, so am I mashing? And Bryn's like, yes. I'm like, oh, I'm doing the mash. So, and I told Bryn, I'm like, you got to come on the show one day. She's like, you keep saying that, but I don't know, when. I'm like, you're booked. You're going to come on. I'll just pick a Wednesday and let me
Next
know.
week.
So, yeah. So we should be getting Castle Church on hopefully in the next couple months. So that'll be cool.
You're out boating, and we're getting ready to get 3 inches of snow before sundown tomorrow.
Ooh.
Still, it's going to be
70
April
degrees
this
here.
weekend.
Yeah. It's.
Wow.
It is. It was 50s today, and right now it is 54 still. But by 10 o'clock tonight, it's going to be 32.
Holy shit.
And at
79.
6 a.m. in the morning, it's going to be 12 degrees.
My God.
That's insane. Is that? I mean, that's not normal for beginning of April.
For
right?
really anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, we can get some snow. We can get some pretty good snow in April, so it's not unusual, that's for sure. But
It's not unusual.
I'm ready for spring, for real.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. I don't blame you.
We're ready
But
for some
nobody
spring.
has anybody said what they're drinking? I'm drinking.
Oh, I got a good one.
Freestyle and Cherry Cola Sour from
Interesting.
Broken Strings and Toll Road Brewing. It tastes like a Shirley Temple. It's it's good, but it's very sweet. But I did this because I used some of the rub today.
It looks
on
like
some,
soda.
Yeah, I figured a Coke would pair well with a burger, and I used some of the rub
Ooh.
on burgers tonight. But I might get kicked off of Hops News because I used them on vegan burgers, but they were fucking delicious.
Well, don't let our guests know that whenever they decide to come because
They were so good.
Vegan burgers.
They're the Beyond Meat. Yes,
Oh my
we
God.
put some of the.
Those actually are pretty much burgers.
That's what I've been told, but I don't remember what burgers taste like. But we put some of the dry rub and some goat cheese and avocado, and that hot Baron's dry rub is amazing. So I will put that shit on anything.
Yeah. We'll talk about that as well for sure. Let's go check in with our Mountain Home Idaho correspondent, Mash. Mash, how is things going in Idaho?
guys. It's pretty gangsta. It's pretty good. 70 degrees here. I'm not ready for 90 degrees because I'm going to Florida to Disney here at the end of the month. So I don't do heat. So that's going to be awful. It's going to be awful, especially with 2 young kids. But I'm just going to leave them at Hoppy's house and mysteriously disappear. So have fun with that. Other than that,
Kids will love that.
Hoppy's adopting an asshole.
She's getting 2 kids, two kids. So
Yeah,
she's gonna have
he
a whole
couldn't throw him in the
basketball
mail,
squad.
so he's actually flying.
Yeah,
down
I'm bringing
there.
him in, and then I'm gonna drop him off at her house, and then have fun. But I'm
Nice.
drinking this really good beer because Emo Wednesday is what I call this. Because back in the day, there used to be a thing on Fuse called Warped Wednesday for Warped Tour, and August Burns Red, one of my favorite bands, they have a collab beer with Elder Pine, which is a wicked good. It's just an ale, but it has Mosaic and Idaho 7 hops in it, so it's wicked good, man. I'm pretty stoked to be drinking this. A great color, great day to be alive. I just dominated the basketball courts before I came here, as I do every day. So I'm feeling mighty, feeling good. March Madness is here, baseball is here, hockey's going. The NFL has 17 game season now. So I mean, we're just getting all the good sports news, all that kind of stuff, and yeah, it's great.
Awesome. What are we looking forward to coming up with some geeks? I know you guys got some big things in the work. You gave us a little bit of a I don't want to steal all your thunder at the end of the show, but you gave us a little tidbit in your text that you sent right before.
Yeah, we're making some waves in the comic industry. You know, we just last night actually interviewed Frank Martin, who is a writer / a comic book writer as well. He writes novels, like more of the horror genre, and then also he has a comic book called The Last Homicide. So we just interviewed him last night. And then also I had the Dark Horse. If anybody's Dark Horse Comics, I'm in touch with their social media coordinator, and Megan Huang is going to come on to our show because they have a comic book run coming out for Dark Horse that we're going to help promote and talk to. And so we have we're on Valiant Comics, press list. We're now on Dark Horse Comics radar, which, if you know Dark Horse, they used to actually do all the Star Wars comics back in the day. Like Dark Horse was big. DC was also affiliated with Dark Horse, and before they kind of split off and did their own thing. And you had Star Wars, you had all sorts of really good stuff associated with Dark. They're big comic book company as well. So I'm in touch with their social media outreach team, and we're getting some of their writers on to promote their comic books out. And I'm pretty excited for that because I love talking comics. Lauren loves talking comics, and it just feels cool to branch out and be able to read some different comic books that aren't necessarily superheroes, because there are phenomenal stories to be told that aren't strictly superhero stories.
Right, or ones that I would ever pick up. Like I never would have picked up a wrestling comic book, but I actually enjoyed reading it.
Yeah, I mean, it's bringing us all sorts of comics that we never would have read, or maybe we would have, but we wouldn't find them. We wouldn't seek them out at our comic book stores, and now they're being brought to our attention, and we're getting to share them with all of our listeners, all you guys. So it's really exciting. I'm excited.
He's making us famous.
Yeah, you guys are doing good things with that.
And also, I am going to be homebrewing another beer soon, but this time Brad is going to work on the recipe with me. So I'm going to be teaming up for my second beer ever with Brad from Common Law Brewing, who also is one of our fam. So be on the lookout. I'm going to brew some beer virtually with Brad soon.
Yeah,
it's going to be good as fuck, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it'll be good. Looking forward to hearing about that and hopefully sampling that. Lucky, what are you sipping on up there in Milwaukee? We didn't check on you with your beer situation up there.
I am drinking an El Juicy Cabra double IPA from New Realm. I think this is one from Micah. Yeah, brewed in Virginia. So
awesome.
I love that artwork.
It's really cool. I love the artwork of it. Pretty good, juicy. 9%, and I have yet to eat dinner, so this will be a fun episode.
Nice. I'm sipping on one that Hoppy just sent from Hourglass. Green screen's gonna dick it up, but great beer so far. Out of Longwood.
Nice. Well, that's that you had
Flannel
mentioned
Bloods.
Hourglass.
Flannel and Bloods. Oxbloods. Yeah. Yeah, West Coast IPA. Great beer, Hoppy. Appreciate the package of those.
I feel like I owe you guys one, but I'm hesitant to send anything now because all of my packages are getting destroyed.
Well, you're at a new address now, so hopefully you got a new...
Yeah, maybe I've got a new carrier.
You got a new Ninja. Maybe it'll get you a little easier on the fucking boxes. Jesus H. Christ. man.
Drop kicking them. Jesus.
That motherfucker's got some anger management issues.
And it's just my boxes. Oh, maybe it's not just mine, but I don't
It
know.
seems to be just anything associated with you, whether you're mailing it or receiving it. It seems
Yeah,
to be
that's true.
right.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah,
know
I'll
what's
change
going
my
on with the
name.
Wisconsin post office.
Very
They just
angry.
don't like you. I don't know.
It's tough. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Started dressing them to John Doe or something.
Ooh, my wife just picked me up a new beer, everybody. She just sent me a picture. I don't know if you guys can see that. Thor's Might.
Mm.
Oh, that's sick.
Barbarian. Man, you guys, so you can order Barbarian beers to a lot of places they ship. And I feel bad saying this because I love a lot of the breweries here, but holy shit, is Barbarian killing, absolutely just straight destroying the game lately with the beers that they have. I went to the brewery Saturday night, and you've got the Bedrock beer that's made with Fruity Pebbles. You can go to the Danger Sunset that has like huckleberries, which is a big staple of Idaho in them. And then you even got just sours, IPAs, you name it. They have 23 different beers, and God, man, they're crushing it. And they have one coming out with Easter candy in it that I really want to get tomorrow.
That sounds so good. I almost bought Easter candy yesterday when I was at the grocery store, but I had to hold back. Probably the next time. Wait until it goes on sale.
Yeah.
I'd fuck up some like Reese's eggs, like the egg.
Those
Reese's.
eggs are
That's
just
my stuff right there. Or the Cadbury mini Robin's eggs.
Yeah.
Oh my god, those are so good.
Yeah.
Well, Matt sent us some of the Reese's eggs, and my husband and Logan were fighting over the last one today.
Mm.
I wonder if he meant to. Maybe he accidentally dropped them in the box. He's like, damn it, that's where those eggs went.
Yeah. They're worth an arm wrestling match for sure. So a couple of mentions of Hop Barons rubs, and if you follow any of our social media, you've probably seen us posting about them and talking them up a little bit. Those guys, I reached out to them a few weeks ago, sent us a little sampler of their rubs, and we'll be on next week's episode.
Oh, they're coming next week for sure?
Yeah, to talk about what it is that they are doing with it. But I will tell you, I'm just putting it out there, and we'll talk a little bit more in depth with those guys next week. I'm kind of a barbecue rub snob. I'm more of a barbecue dry rub snob than I am a beer snob. And I've had some amazing rubs over the years that we've had our Big Green Eggs cooker. And I dare you find the quality that those guys are putting on their rubs. I mean, it is fresh. It is absolutely phenomenal. Lucky talked about it a little bit today with their the coffee rub that they do.
I had that on my steak last Friday. Head to my Instagram. It's on there. Oh, dude.
We talked about it. We talked about it much longer than we intended, but like we just kept going on. And Jay, Big Daddy, one of my co-hosts, is a huge grill guy and a huge rub guy and all that stuff. And he said it's the best that he's ever had. I don't know if he said that while we were on, but he thinks it's the best that he's had. So
yeah,
it's unreal how good they are.
Yeah, I've tried the Badass rub, not the spicy one yet. I've tried the Badass rub. That was so good. I've had the lemon pepper on a couple of nice chunks of halibut out of Alaska that was absolutely phenomenal. Ooh. And then we had the coffee the other night, and I did kind of a blind tasting. There's another coffee rub by a pretty well-known, award-winning. I mean, these guys are in the barbecue competition circuits, and one of their brisket rubs is coffee, a coffee-focused rub. And I did kind of a blind tasting with myself and my wife, and she picked out the Hops Baron over the other competitor.
Can we get them to sponsor us and maybe like our only payment? Like I don't know money. Can they just like give us some spices?
Just give me more rubs.
Yeah,
please. I will gladly take a rub.
That's all I want.
Yeah,
we'll rub it all over my meat, please.
We will definitely have them on next week. So I will tell you guys the conversation with them started out is our the care packages that we're doing every quarter, I reached out to them to talk to them about that, if they would be interested in working with us and putting in some of that in one of the care packages. And they were, of course, interested right away. Asked them about coming on an episode. Yep. Asked them if we could get some of the product to send to you guys so we could, try it before we had them on. So the relationship is obviously growing. I would expect when we have them on next week that we'll chat up about the care packages and that sort of thing. But their twist on how this is beer focused, I guess we should have probably talked about this. They actually have hops, ground up hops in their rubs. I think all of their rubs have some sort of hops that they grow that's in their rubs. So it'll be interesting to chat with those guys and learn a little bit more about them. But just wanted to give everybody out there that pays attention to our social media. You guys have seen it on all of our personal stuff and obviously the Hops News stuff. These guys are doing some good stuff with it. So
About to rub that all over my body.
yeah.
If you didn't,
It's not just going on my meat.
feeling lucky, our post today, we posted pictures of like the before and after, and if you notice, there were like, I mean, we had a ton of people over, and it was when we recorded last week, and I think we had like 12 pieces of meat or something, and then the pieces of meat that were cooked were ones that we didn't even post in the pre-picture. They were like, I don't even know what they were. But it was because we had eaten all of the ones that we posted in the picture before like we realized that we had to take another picture. So those were the last 3 that we had available. We were like, fuck, whatever, but it still turned out good.
Dude,
And
like a little bit of that seasoning really goes a long way too. Like I put a little on the
So
steak
good.
and it coated it, and man, it gave it like that nice, like it gave it like a nice outer crust almost like the steak too.
Mhm.
So, oh my God, you bite into it, you get that initial taste, and then the steak just kind of falls apart and the seasonings just go right in the juice. And oh my God.
I think I'm taking it by
I-
my dad this weekend for Easter. He's going to be grilling out, and I think I'm going to take it over and make him throw some on. So we'll see how that
I
turns
think
out.
I might make some burgers. I think since Hoppy made some burgers, I'm gonna make real burgers, not the fake ones. But I'm not opposed to eating vegan. I pretty much, as you know, I juice and pretty much only drink juice and smoothies during the day anyways. But man, Friday night is like my cheat meal, and I'm gonna fuck up some meat.
You
Real
juice.
talk.
Like,
Get
Yeah.
shrimp. Gotta do shrimp. The shrimp was absolutely
Ooh, some shrimp?
amazing.
I'll,
Shrimp
I get
sounds
really
so
good, like
I'm
Alaskan
like, I
fish
haven't.
out
We need
here.
to stop talking about food. I haven't eaten tonight.
I
So,
haven't eaten
like,
either. I'm wicked
starting to
starving, dude.
salivate a little bit.
Oh,
Not
see,
good.
yeah, I have to eat before.
I got to record another podcast after this. Haven't eaten. I'm about to I'm just gonna be sitting there drooling like I'm brain dead or some shit.
That's how I feel.
Hoppy, what rub did you use on the shrimp?
I've only used the badass one, but I'm gonna use the coffee one tomorrow because everybody's going on and on about the coffee, and then
Coffee
Mark in the chat
slaps.
just said coffee rubs are underrated, so I am 100% doing that tomorrow. But we've done the badass rub on chicken, fish, shrimp, and the Beyond Burgers, and the shrimp was the best, but it was fantastic on everything.
Yeah.
And like Josh is a bit of a barbecue kind of snob, and he loved it. And so I feel like when Josh loves something, it means it's really good because he doesn't
Yeah.
love a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are doing phenomenal stuff. I mean, they hold up against guys that I'm using that are winning competitions and major awards for their barbecue that they're using their rubs on. So looking forward to chatting with those guys for sure. Next week, check us out. We'll have those guys on. Lucky.
Wait.
Let's get a little update on March Madness, Lucky. What's going on in March Madness? Obviously, if you've listened to Feeling Lucky, you know that Lucky's taking a hit. That's why he had to move to reduce his monthly expenses a little bit.
That's the real reason.
Michigan food. Look,
So obvious.
Oh my God, free throws. If you don't lead off with 3 free throws.
Free throws in that last shot. I mean, you could not ask for a better
Even
shot.
Alabama went 11 for 25 on free throws. That's why they lost their game, because they couldn't shoot a fucking free throw.
11 for 25 is so ridiculous on free throws. There was a question a while ago. I don't know if we did it on Feeling Lucky, but it was if you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do before you even start your day is you shoot 25 free throws, and you hit like if you make more than 10, you live, and if you miss more or you miss like more than 10 or whatever, like if you don't make more than 10, then you die. How long do you think you would live for? I honestly think it would live forever. I don't know how
I would honestly
these
live
college
forever
people.
because
There's
like
no chance. There's no chance you do that. And these are like not
no.
professional athletes, but whatever.
Well,
We don't
they're
have
at
to
the
talk about
college
that.
level. You're playing for D1 schools.
March
You're in the
Madness
NCAA
update.
tournament.
Crazy. It's crazy. And they have been losing me so much money. I had Alabama, and I'm getting railed. So I guess we're down to the Final Four, and it's Houston against Baylor, and then UCLA against Gonzaga. What have you guys thought about the tournament thus far? I guess I want to ask that.
Ooh,
Mash, are you the biggest basketball guy here?
Look, if I could make a living off of talking sports, probably better than like Colin Coward and them do. Cause yeah, not to like be that guy, but yeah, I live, breathe sports, especially, I play basketball, things of that nature. And free throws, man, like as a big man, especially if you're not at the free throw line every day, practicing free throws, cause you're going to get hacked, you're fucking up. And I think this year's tournament has been a lot of fun because you have a team like UCLA who had to play to actually get in. They were one of the Final Four teams to actually get into the tournament. And now they're down to the Final Four. And it's been exciting because you have like those 14 seeds, those 11 seeds, they're beating like Abilene Christian. They were like a 14 seed, and their victory earned them like $120 million for the college. And
it's crazy.
It's also exciting. Yeah. I mean, it's exciting because the last four teams, none of them have won or even been to the finals since I think UCLA was 2008 was the last one, but Gonzaga, this is only the second time in the Final Four. Houston, I don't think they've been a long time, and it's great. It's great for the sport, especially because we didn't have a tournament last year, and so I'm enjoying the ride, man. It's been a lot of fun.
So, do you think Gonzaga is the clear favorite? But I am seriously debating sprinkling like a little bit on UCLA. Is that the dumbest? That's just throwing money away, right? It totally is, but it's just it's because it's the Final Four. UCLA is good, and like I love there's a viral tweet. We'll get into your Twitter later, but there's a tweet going around that says like UCLA and Gonzaga, like that game, they have 11 combined national championships, and then it's like ... but UCLA has 11 and Gonzaga 0. So it's like it's funny just because like Gonzaga's never gotten over that hump, and it just feels like that weird. I don't know. They're one of the most dominant teams to be around. I think they're the most dominant team since what's the North Carolina team with Tyler Hansborough his senior year. That was the most dominant NCAA team that I remember going through the tournament. I think they're that good, but it's just like they might fuck up against a team like UCLA. That's kind of
UCLA's defense has been nasty. That's the underrated aspect of their game lately. Is their defense has been really tight. You see it, and then for some reason teams can't hit free throws against them. Like Michigan even was missing free throws at the end, and Smith had a really good look last night from the 3-point, and he missed it. Honestly, he had room to even dribble and take a closer shot.
For sure. Well, he got it with like 2 point. What? How many seconds?
Well, there was still by the time everything, they even had a good look at the end with that. There's a half second left that they got off, but Brad says that Gonzaga is going to win by 15 plus. And Patrick, that's the only team he has left. I picked Gonzaga to win it all. I think it's going to go this way. Either Gonzaga blows them out or they lose by 1 point. There's going to be no in between in this game.
So take UCLA to cover. Should I take UCLA to cover? Just cause.
I'm always
for the kids back home. I don't know.
One team buying into their own hype, especially in a tournament like this, that's going to get really physical. I'm always very wary of a number one team like that, and Gonzaga hasn't gotten over that hump, so I don't know.
We should start a basketball podcast, Mash. But I thought that we don't have to talk too much about it, but I thought USC was their biggest. That's who they played in the Elite Eight. I thought they were really going to give them trouble, and they ended up beating them by 19. So that kind of has me.
That's also true.
I don't know that has me a little bit worried. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but that's
something about UCLA though. I think that they are just on that roll because they had to win to get in, so they're just in that mentality. And like I said, once you start believing in yourself, kind of like that carries some weight in these games, especially if you have Gonzaga who expects to just it's
UCLA, Los Angeles. I mean, like that whole city is they're full of they breed champions, and I don't know, it'd be
winners.
We'll see. I think it'll be an interesting Final Four. I think like NCAA kind of needs it to be Gonzaga Baylor just because that's the only storyline left really, because it's Gonzaga and Baylor were number 1 and number 2 the whole year, and coming off of like obviously we didn't have a tournament last year. They kind of need that to be like the big matchup at the end for anybody to be interested in. But like if you're a college basketball, like if you like basketball, it's a really good tournament, and it's been a really good tournament thus far.
It has. There's personally a lot of going down to the wire, and I'm taking Gonzaga versus Houston. That's who I'm picking
over Baylor.
I'm taking Gonzaga against Houston. Okay, that's my pick.
I'm probably going to take Gonzaga Baylor just because that's the game that I want to see, and I'm a homer, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm also going to bet on UCLA and Houston just because the underdogs have been insane this tournament. So I'll probably take both of them and lose all of my money, but that's fine. What else is new?
Right.
Could be worse. You could have betted on the Chiefs. Oh wait.
Fuck off. so
I could have given Mash money to bet on the Chiefs for me and then fucking lose every
I put your money on the Chiefs and I put my money on the Bucks. So
smart. That's smart. If you want to make money, bet against me. That's
I just knew Tom Brady in that game. You never bet against Tom Brady because he sacrifices children. So I don't know.
So I'm not the biggest college basketball fan by any means. So my question to you guys that are obviously much more involved in it than I am, I mean, it's no surprise or no secret that some of the biggest names in college basketball aren't in it still, right? I mean, Duke, UNC, those level of teams are not playing still this year. Do you think this could carry over to next season too? Do you think we could have another wild March Madness? I mean, do you think that this is going to be kind of a hangover that may loom over some of these bigger schools for a season or two?
Here's my thing is Duke hasn't had a real dominant team in a few seasons, and neither, like, you look at your Kentucky, look at your Kansas, look at your Duke, look at your UNC. Those 4 schools are always the powerhouses, right? They produce the most NBA players. They've been kind of on a downward trend, and a lot of these high schoolers who are going into college, they're kind of looking at these trends. And so by getting, like, Gonzaga's always had a stellar recruiting class for basketball, and then you got some of these other teams finally making their way up. It's going to help their recruiting class. That's going to take away from the Dukes, the UNCs, the Kansas. And so I think, you're going to start seeing more of that mix. I mean, look at UConn used to be a powerhouse in the men's. They've fallen off ever since they had a couple of missteps. And especially in a tournament like this, I think next year you're going to see some parity still. And then you're not going to see these powerhouse teams like you're used to.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm a big UNC is probably my favorite. Outside of Wisconsin, I love UNC. Love Roy Williams, all of that stuff.
I like Michigan State just because of it.
I know. I went to high school with Tom Izzo's nephew, I think. Ooh. Alex Izzo. He was on our state championship winning basketball team. Good guy.
Nice.
I think it will be more of the same just because the way that the big schools are doing it now is not right. Like Gonzaga, they do get good recruiting classes, but like a lot of their people, who's the guy? Don't they have a starter that he was a Kentucky guy or something, and then he didn't go one and done. So then Cal, he ended up getting him in the transfer portal or whatever. Like Gonzaga picks up a lot of those guys. And the way that the big schools kind of have to do it to get the big names is go for the one and dones. And I don't think you can do that and be like able to sustain this amount of success. Like Duke,
Yeah.
2 years ago with Zion. I mean, they had the most talented team ever with Zion and what's his name? I can't think of RJ
I know who
RJ
you're
Barrett.
talking
Is
about.
that RJ Barrett?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah.
him?
That team was stacked. Like,
That team was absolutely stacked, and they made it to they make it to the Sweet 16.
got bounced.
Something like that. Got bounced, and it's just like you need that long-term chemistry, in my opinion.
I was
So,
going to say that, and it also builds that culture, right? I mean, you can
For
go play
sure.
for a coach, but it's all about team chemistry. You got to be, how well do you move the ball? How well, do you communicate? And it takes more than just one season to really do that. And especially if some of these guys know they're leaving at the end of the season, I actually feel like they're already thinking NBA sometimes because they
for
buy into
sure.
the hype. They're just ready to get paid. And so that's,
Without a doubt.
it's like the NFL. That's why I think I think the college football, that's why a lot of it, you see a lot of these teams staying where they are, like your Alabamas, not just because they're a recruiting class, but because they're there for 3 years as well.
They have to be. They
So
have
really-
to be.
Yeah. So you have these guys for 3 years developing, and then a lot of times, like, yeah, some of them will leave, but you don't lose a whole starting roster like you would in
Mhm.
basketball. Like you can take your whole starting 5 and just replace them the next year. And it's harder to replicate in basketball.
Hobby looks done with this conversation. We can move on. Mash, that was a fun talking though. We should
It was great.
do
It
that
was
again
great.
sometime.
We should do it again soon.
No, I
Yeah.
just don't follow college. But for anybody wondering, the Heat are down by 4 in the third
Nobody
quarter.
cares. No, we don't care.
NBA does not start until March Madness is over. That's
Yeah.
my steadfast
Yeah, I mean,
rule. It just doesn't.
That's kind of how I feel about the NHL. I'm a diehard puck slut, but to me, the NHL doesn't truly start until the football season's over. So
Exactly.
Mhm.
I don't know. What are you gonna do?
Is anybody keeping up on the FCS football? Because that's being played like right now, right? Like Saturdays.
I know it's not FC or is it
you talking about
Deion Sanders?
Canadian
Deion
football?
Sanders football team. His Jackson State. It's historic black college. They're killing it. He went Deion Sanders primetime. Everybody hopefully knows who that is. He's the
Yeah.
coach there, and this is his first coaching job there. And they've been just absolutely crushing teams. Like it's disgusting how much they
I
beat
got
them
a
by.
friend who was just hanging out with him. Actually, he met him and all that stuff.
Casual.
Because his brother,
Hanging out
his
with
brother,
prime
was,
time, the greatest athlete ever.
brother was in the NFL. McDonald.
What?
His brother played on the championship team for the Seahawks that beat the Broncos. Because
That's
when I was
crazy.
deployed with him, we were watching it in Kuwait. We went to the theater, and then he was like, "Yo, check this out." His family had FaceTimed him, and
Mhm.
they were at the Super Bowl while we're sitting in a theater in Kuwait. His family was like
Fuck.
FaceTiming us from the Super Bowl and shit, and it was super cool. And then his brother played on the Seahawks. Then he got shipped to the Bucks, and then obviously he retired because he'd been around for a while before they actually won another Super Bowl. So he's out of the league now. But he was one of their star players. I think he might have been the one who forced the fumble on Peyton Manning in that game.
Mm.
I'm trying to think.
So-
I don't know who it is. I'm not that good, but
I kind of lost the conversation when Lucky said that Deion Sanders, if I'm not mistaken, is
Yeah,
the greatest
coaches.
athlete of all time. Is that what you said?
can you argue that?
What?
Dual sport.
And
That's gotta be.
Sport. He's like the best. Oh, whatever. Okay, whatever. What's the argument? Who are you gonna
Michael
say
Jordan
is
played
better
two
than?
sports.
Barely. He
I
played
mean,
triple A, double A, I don't single A maybe. I don't even know.
no, here's the thing though. Like, no, because you have plenty of people. Look at like your Russell Wilsons, your Patrick Mahomes. They could easily be in the MLB right now
But they're not. I don't know.
because they
Deion
chose
was
the
going
smarter route.
from-
They chose to play football, get paid now because they would be in the pipeline. The MLB is so much harder to make it in because you're spinning your tires unless you're like a
Deion did both.
Bryce
Deion
Harper
did
or
both.
something.
He
I
did
wouldn't say
both.
he's
He
great.
started on both. I think it's hard to argue. He was corner in the NFL, corner and receiver. He played both sides of the ball. Like corner is maybe the hardest, or the most athletic position in all of sports. And he
Corners
was
are just receivers who can't catch.
no.
Just
I
so you
disagree.
know, I put Warren Sapp above Deion Sanders.
Oh, I don't
Okay.
know about that.
I don't know about
Oh,
that. That's
what?
insane.
He's a hurry.
No. What?
Man,
No,
come
sir.
on. Deion Sanders?
Deion Sanders is an athlete, but I wouldn't say he's the
He's
greatest
like,
athlete of all.
No way.
Anyways,
I
I
think
mean,
it's
he had
pretty
the best
close.
do
we
rag
need
that
a Hop
everybody.
Sports News or some shit because I could talk
This
about
is,
that.
Yeah.
we have been talking about this for a long time.
I could dead ass.
I need
talk
to grab
sports
another beer.
for
I need to
hours.
grab another beer, and I can't take the Deion
Let's go check in
Sanders
with Hoppy
slander.
and learn about some Easter beers. Hoppy, tell me a little bit about Easter beer. So we chatted on our text today, and we were getting around, as we usually do, last minute, figure out what we're going to chat about. And Hoppy asked about Easter beer. And I'm like, Easter beer? That's just a regular Sunday that everybody's drinking and the family's together and all of that stuff. So Hoppy had mentioned it, and I'm interested. So Hoppy, tell us a little bit about Easter beers.
So I'm not gonna lie, when I asked you guys that, I didn't have anything in mind necessarily. So of course I did a little Google search and down the rabbit hole I went. So Easter beers, do they exist? Easter is probably the one holiday that most do not associate with beer at all. However, there are some connections between Easter and beer and not just using the word hoppy as a pun. Let's start with monks. Leading up to Easter is Lent. Some give up alcohol, some cigarettes, some social media, and some food. Well, centuries ago, German monks would fast during Lent and only drink water and Doppelbock beer that they brewed. They called the beer liquid bread and thought the more they drank, the more purified they would become for Easter because liquid cleanses the body and soul. Now, this belief
Amen.
So this belief actually came from a story where the monks sent their Doppelbock beer to the Pope to get his opinion. Well, the hot weather skunked the crap out of it, and the beer was terrible. So the Pope told them to drink as much as they could because it would cleanse their sins away because it was so
Hell
bad.
yeah, it would.
Of course, they were drinking it fresh. So, yeah. So, today there is actually an Ohio man who has made this his own little Lent tradition. The brewery co owner of 16 Lots Brewery only drinks water, coffee, herbal tea, and beer for all of Lent. This is his third year in a row doing this, and he apparently loses 40 to 50 pounds each year while drinking 3 to 5 beers a day. It also lowers his cholesterol and blood pressure. While doing this, he's also raising money for local small breweries and restaurants, kind of like Barstool's doing. However, I do wonder if he's losing like 50 pounds every year, like what is he doing the rest of the year? I feel like he's not, I mean, that's a lot of weight to
It's like
lose.
hibernating.
He's
He's putting
bulking.
them all,
It's
putting it all
bulking.
back
He's
on.
cultivating mass. Okay, he is
I don't
cultivating
think that's
mass.
a good idea. Didn't Tom Hanks get like diabetes from constantly losing and gaining weight for his movies?
No, that's Christian Bale. I thought.
Maybe, but oh my God, Christian Bale looked like he was dead. Okay, so now Denmark. I love talking Danish beer traditions. So, Denmark, of course, has a special Easter beer. It is a bit heavier with more flavor than the average beer, and it's called, I don't know what it is. It's Paskeberg. Paskberg. I have no idea. But it's brewed by Tuborg, which is owned by Carlsberg, and it has an adorable cartoon chick on the label. It's only rated at 2.9 on Untapped, though, so I'm guessing it's not great. It's said to be similar to their Christmas beer, but seeing it in Denmark means that spring is around the corner. Now, before the Danes begin drinking their Easter beer during Easter lunch, they must first drink at least one traditional Danish schnapp, which is akavie, in one gulp while yelling "Skull" and Easter wishes with their glasses held high, and then they drink their very low rated beer. I think it's a Vienna lager. So every Easter for the past 7 years or so, multiple people have sent me the video of grown-ups looking for craft beers in the yard. While that sounds fun, I live in Florida. However, Jay, this might be a good game for you guys to play this weekend since apparently it's going to snow. So here, the beer would be warm before it's all hidden, but maybe it will work for you and your family if you live in those places that get down to 12 degrees. Yeah. So our Easter tradition that accidentally began in our home is Cigar City's Hunapoo. Hunapoo is released in early March, so Easter tends to be the first holiday worthy of such a delicious brew. And 5 years ago on Easter was the first time I ever had it. So thank you, Dad. So those are the couple Easter beer traditions and history that I found this afternoon. If anyone knows of other Easter beer history or they have their own personal Easter beer traditions, I would love to hear them.
Easter
On
beer
that note,
traditions.
Yes, there should be traditions for everything involving beer. So, on that note, it's not too late to drink lots of Doppelbock the next few days to cleanse your sins for Easter. And come this Sunday, make sure
Forgive
to
me,
pour a
Father.
beer. I will be drinking Hunapoo, of course, and raise your glasses in the air and yell "Skull, Hoppy Easter."
No, I'm gonna be yelling, "Yay,
Skull.
chocolate!" I'm drinking my homebrew, my last bottle of homebrew. So now that
Nice.
I may build my recipe with Brad and brew the next batch. So
That's
Very
awesome.
nice.
I had to open another beer. I had to open another beer. Just had to do it.
Lucky, did you hear that? That guy basically did a reverse Lent and lost 30 to 40 pounds.
That's what I need to do. That is what
40
I
to
need
50.
to do for sure. I'd love to do it.
40 to
You're
50.
here like drinking juices, smoothies, and playing basketball, hoping to lose like 10 fucking pounds. And this guy's drinking beer and losing 50. Like,
You're
what the
fucking
hell,
up,
dude?
MASH.
That's honestly the
hell,
dream.
man?
Gotta drink Doppelbocks.
Oh my God.
Cannot
It's
imagine.
not fair. I'm telling you. You know, the audacity of some people.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the buzz you would get too, not eating anything else. You would just drink the beer. I mean, you'd be buzzed all day on 5 beers.
Plus, they said
It'd be
it'd be
so
drunk
nice.
people around the like monastery because they would
Yeah.
steal the beer too.
Constantly buzzed. And you know what? Life is good.
It'd be amazing. I would not hate it one bit.
Oh, what's that? My wife's yelling at me again. Sorry, too buzzed because I haven't eaten enough drinking beers, and this doesn't bother me
Sorry,
today.
Sorry, I'm partying. What are you gonna do?
Coming to work buzzed because it's part of my Lent traditions. What you gonna do
Right.
about it?
You could. I think you could get away with that. Just being like, "This is my religion." I don't know. What do you want me to say?
Oh, we drink a beer or two after work sometimes at work. So
I
I'm
used to
cool
keep
with
those
this.
I do too,
fridge in
but
my
that's
office.
because I'm at home. That's a joke.
Oh,
If
I'm
anyone's,
at the opposite.
that's I don't ever.
Oh my God, drinking
Ever,
on
I
the
don't ever.
job? How dare
I
you?
would. I would literally never do that. So it's satirical.
Lucky, if you're in accounting, isn't that mandatory?
Yeah.
Not going to talk about it. But yeah,
Mash.
to get through today.
Yeah. MASH, let's talk about some Twitter trends, man. What's going on the Twitter sphere?
Yeah, so I got some things from earlier today. People are saying that March 31st is actually the death of our favorite animated plumber, Mario, because several Mario games are being discontinued. They're not going to update the servers anymore, things of that nature. So the memes are basically out there saying that Mario's been executed. Seen some pretty cool stuff, pretty dark, but rest in peace, I guess. I love Mario Party, so as long as that one's still going, but things like Super Mario like 35, things of that nature, that's no longer there. We also have America's Odd Obsession. I don't know if it's odd, but like get a bidet. Jesus Christ, you uncultured swine. Some people are obsessed with wipes, like wiping your ass with actual wipes and then flushing it. Well, since the pandemic, it's called the Fatberg problem. And a big issue is that it's clogging the pipes with all these wipes that don't degrade like toilet paper do. So again, use a bidet. Feels great on the whole. Some political news. Matt Gaetz, that stupid big-headed fuck from Florida. He's being accused of sexual assault towards a 17-year-old girl, and he's calling it that he's being sexually extorted. However, he shot down a human trafficking bill, so that was kind of trending. Aaron Rodgers, everybody's favorite quarterback, the greatest quarterback to ever play the game, is going to be hosting Jeopardy.
Yes.
So that's another, people are pretty excited for that. Yeah, he's a big Jeopardy fan. He was on Jeopardy. He won it a couple times. You might know it. So other than that, President Biden's dog took a shit in the White House hallway. How dare he? They were reporting, they don't know which dog it was. One of those damn dogs took a giant shit in the hallway of the White House, which
They don't have a camera to figure that out. What?
Wait. Another
In
undisciplined
the fucking
Biden?
White House?
You
And they don't have a
you
camera?
think you know your dog, and then next thing you know, they're shitting in the hallways of the White House.
Point. You know there's a fucking camera everywhere in that house.
Literally
Well,
every
maybe they
inch
don't
of the
wanna diamond
White
man
House
out.
has to have a
Look,
camera.
He was trying to pinch it off. Biden was given like a speech or something. He couldn't get his dog outside. I don't know. He's 90 years old. He doesn't have any kids running around. So nobody to be like, hey, let the damn dog out. I'm speaking here. And so the dog shit. I don't know what to tell you. You know what? Sometimes it happens.
You gotta go.
You gotta go. You gotta go. And so his dog decided to take a shit. And the last thing that's actually somewhat newsworthy is apparently there's some like Minecraft streamer who like disappeared, came back. He put like cows in Minecraft. I don't really play that game, but saying like the big trending thing is mom's milkers. So that's trending for some reason.
Mom's Milkers.
I don't know, but I think I've watched that movie a couple times.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Oh geez.
Mama's Milker. It's Mama's Milkers.
Mama's
Mama's
milkers. Yes, Mama's milkers, because he's out there like doing whatever his thing. Yes.
Well,
and that's
I'm
all I
doing
got
mine.
for what's
For
kind of
large-
trending right now.
I
Huh?
googled it. It's a slang term for large breasts that started as an offshoot of the mommy BF meme.
Oh, we weren't talking about the same thing. Okay.
Pretty
I
sure
totally was not even. That's not what I was thinking at all. Okay.
I guess
Shame
it's
on
just
you
extremely
guys.
large breasts. I was wondering if maybe it was some pro breastfeeding thing. That's why.
No, it's got to do with the video game that I like let my 5-year-old play. So I don't know what I gotta cut that out apparently.
Yeah,
I don't play
Mama's milkers.
But just
I'm
know,
gonna cut
Mama's
Mama's
milkers.
Milkers out
That's
of-
trending for some reason with cows and Minecraft, and the internet is a strange place, especially Twitter. And so
Especially
that's,
Twitter. Yeah.
that's what we have going on.
Twitter's the best.
Interesting stuff on Twitter. What's the I just pulled up Twitter and clicked on a trending tab.
Yeah.
What is the Godzilla and Kong?
Oh, okay. So, oh my dude, I've got tickets. I'm seeing this movie Friday in a fucking movie theater. In a movie theater.
Yes.
So,
Attaboy.
the wife and I got tickets. We're the only ones in the theater. Oh, well, we were when I bought tickets. So, but I'm there for the movie. Like, I'm not 16 no more. Anyways, it's Godzilla, right? So we have Kong Skull Island. Then we have Godzilla 2014. The sequel to that is Godzilla King of the Monsters. And so in this one, Godzilla's kind of gone haywire for some reason. And so because Godzilla's gone haywire, they went and brought Kong from Skull Island to fight Godzilla. And so Godzilla and Kong are about to fight it out. But, you know, they're going to be friends at the end, like save
Godzilla
Mothra.
saved us in the last one.
Yes, Godzilla's a hero. I love Godzilla. Godzilla's about to spank that ass. It's out now on HBO Max, but it's also in theaters. So if any of you people spoil it for me, I will come to your house and I will beat the fucking life out of you and break your legs. Just know that. Do not spoil this movie. I am so excited to go see it in theaters.
I
Serious.
haven't seen it. As soon as you said that, I was gonna say Kong wins and just like walk off or log off or something. I don't know
Kong
anything
does
about
not
it.
beat Godzilla.
I don't know anything about
There
it.
is no
I don't know
universe.
anything about it.
I'm just like,
I don't know anything about it. I haven't
I
seen
haven't
it, but
seen
I
the
was
movie. I
gonna
know you
say
haven't seen
that.
the movie, but
My house.
no universe does Godzilla lose to King Kong. There's
I've
no-
I've not
Godzilla
seen any
literally
spoilers. I
breathes
have not watched it.
Laser beams out of his throat. Like he will literally rip open Kong's mouth and be like, "Bleh, laser beams."
I've got my money
that
on
for what you
Kong. I have
I feel
not seen
passionate.
it. I've not seen any spoilers, but I've got my money on Kong. I'll
Yes.
take
We're
that side.
talking it
Yes.
with another podcast.
We are
Sunday
talking
night.
it with a podcast
I'm
Sunday
a
night.
little scared.
A podcast
After you
from
watch
New
it, after
Hampshire.
you guys watch it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're both gonna watch it. I'm
I might
waiting
buy it
to
this
go see it in the
weekend.
theater. I have HBO
HBO
Max. I have HBO. Yeah, but like,
Ooh,
I can
hit
go
me
in the
up.
theater, though.
can I get your login?
Yeah,
Of
let
course.
me figure out what my login is. I don't mind sharing it. Like, fuck you guys.
But then you can watch they don't have the 2014 one, but they have the other two on there as well.
Yeah.
So check
I know I
out
watched the- I
check
watched
out
the-
Hops Geeks or Geeks Hops on Twitter. Mash will give you his HBO Max login, and everybody can watch it this weekend.
we all get together. We're having a big old party for Godzilla. And you get to see my Kong.
Yeah, that's so. Is Kong and Godzilla are they on the same scale? I
Yes,
would
so this is yes. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
get into the geekness because
This is-
I just
this is
picture
the monster
Godzilla being
universe,
bigger.
okay? Yes, Godzilla is big. So if you watch Kong Skull Island, it takes place in Vietnam. He is just a baby at this point, whereas now he's grown up when they bring him to face Godzilla. So they're about the same height. Godzilla's a badass. I mean, Kong's also a badass. Don't get me wrong. However, Godzilla is going to win that fight 9 times out of 10 because it's Godzilla. The dude is atomic. He's literally a nuclear bomb. If you've watched King of the Monsters, you see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they turn him
So-
into like an atom bomb.
Look, well, that's because that's how. Yes, he's they are
restarts.
ancient monsters, and Godzilla's kind of one that like sets the order for Earth. Like, there's all these bad monsters. He goes out and wipes them out to kind of just protect Earth because he's like Earth's protector, kind of. He's the king
I
of the
watched
monsters.
the other day because of him, so I have it all fresh in my mind.
Yeah,
to discuss.
so
I feel like
Godzilla's
I'm not
king of the
gonna get a word
monsters.
in.
Just
I'm
know that
sit here and listen.
this movie's going to be dope. If it does well enough, we're going to get a sequel because this is a monster universe. Like, it's all.
Yeah, but
it's all
here's
connected.
yeah, but all the Snyderverse people are already trashing the movie because they're
No.
mad at
That
WB.
is a select group. We have been very. If you go into any DC subreddit, things of that nature, they've been very vocal not to do that. I condone that. I want the Snyderverse restored personally because I love this shit. Like, give me more. But I don't think you should go.
People were doing that with the boys too. I don't remember why. Where they were
People
back
are shitty, man, especially on the internet. People are always going to try to bombard stuff, and it just makes you look like an asshole. And don't do that. Don't ruin it for the rest of us, please.
You're an asshole.
Let's go check in with why Mash is on a roll. Mash, parting shots. What do we have to look forward to from Geeks?
Yeah. So, like I said, this is the last of my homebrew, and so I am going to be working on a recipe with our good friend Brad. Also, of which, Hoppy ordered Hops Geek pint glasses. So I have some pint glasses coming my way. I'll ship them out to you. We're going to figure out like pricing, stuff like that, because nothing in this world is free. Let's be honest.
No
And
such thing as a free lunch.
however, because Brad is brewing a couple beers that we teamed up with when he was on our episode, I'm probably going to send one to him. So that way, when the beer is done, the offshore accounts, it might be part of that package. Like, we might do a giveaway and things of that nature. So be on the lookout for that. And we have some big comic book reviews coming out next week. We're we're recording our wrestling episode for WrestleMania because WrestleMania week's next week. So we're gonna do wrestlers who are in movies. We
Dude,
just
I
interviewed a comic.
love-
Is Hop Hogan going to be making an appearance?
Maybe, brother. Maybe he might. So we've got that going on. We've got like we're just doing some great things, and it makes my heart so happy that we are talking to these comic book creators and artists and helping share what they do because they're doing great things and making a lot of good friends on Twitter, things of that nature. We have a lot of collaborations. A lot of people are reaching out to us to collab. There's a couple in the pipe, and that's what I got, I guess. Did I leave anything out? Lauren will let you know if I left something out.
She's got a list. I guarantee you. Hoppy's organized. She'll make
I'm all
sure
over
she
the
hits all the points.
I haven't eaten and I'm drinking and I'm having fun.
Awesome. Lucky. Feeling lucky. Parting shots. What do we have to look forward to?
So when we're talking about spoilers, the worst spoiler that I ever got, I just wanted to put it out there. We were on our way in to opening weekend of what I think it was Star Wars 7. Which one was that? I forget what the name of it was.
Oh, no. Force Awakens?
Yeah. And on our way in, I wasn't like super into Star Wars, but the guys that I were with were just the biggest Star Wars nerds on the planet. And this girl was walking out and she said Han Solo dies. Like as we were walking in.
Do I have a story for you in regards to that? Oh my god.
And like I swear to God, these dudes like almost broke down in tears. Like the whole movie, they're like, there's no way that he dies. There's no way that he dies. There's no way that he dies.
Bring it back here. Oh my god.
Bring it back here.
Oh no, this brings up some memory. I have PTSD from a moment just like this.
Yeah, we both had that spoiled for us actually.
Yes.
Damn. That was like I've gotten more into Star Wars after that, and like I was into it, but not as much as these guys. And like it was like I don't know, it was like someone just stabbed their firstborn or something.
I waited
it was
a combined total of 7 hours to see that movie, and as I was walking into it, my friend texted our group saying Han Solo dies. And I was seeing it in Qatar. I was seeing it before all my friends.
They better not be. They would not. They should not be your friends anymore. I don't know. That's the worst thing ever.
Cool.
Feeling lucky. Feeling lucky just had an episode come out. I don't even remember what we talked about, to be completely honest. We talked a lot about hop barons and the rub, and it was a long episode, so we talked about something funny. I don't know. But it's a lot of fun. We don't really have, I mean, we have guests that are coming up, but it's not going to be for a while, I guess. We did just confirm, I mean, we've confirmed it a while ago, but New Barons is going to be on our virtual tasting in May. Right, they're going to be our virtual tasting guest in May, so I'm excited about that. That'll be in Milwaukee Brewery. That's the one that I own. Other than that, we're just having fun. Me, Big Daddy, and JJ. A lot of fun. Tune in if you want to laugh, because I laugh when I listen back to it. So that's really it.
Yeah, laugh your asses off.
My beer. I grabbed another. Give me some sugar.
Ooh,
I'm trying to go through my beer fridge.
Down that one. I was
Really,
hoping
I
we'd
can
get that one down here because we got the last one that Bottle Share did, and we haven't gotten that one.
I don't know that I don't think I sent it to any of you because it should be going to maybe not Mashes, but I know for sure it was supposed to be in Florida, and I thought North Carolina, but
yeah, the last one just took a minute to get.
I don't get nothing out here, man.
Yeah, it's good stuff though.
Hoppy geeks and parting shots.
Geeks, yes, we dropped our Justice League episode, which Matt was very passionate about, and I had to do an apology video. If you follow us on Instagram, you saw my apology video where I am wearing a Batman helmet and saying that the Snyder Cut did not suck as bad as I expected it to. So that came out Monday night, and last Thursday we did release an episode on the New Mutants, which we did a little crossover pod with watching comics. That movie was terrible, but we told you everything you needed to know, so you don't even have to watch the movie. We'll just tell you how it's connected to the X-Men universe. We give you some behind-the-scene fun facts, and we tell you what Fox was going to do if they hadn't been bought out by Disney, which they needed to be bought out because they were just running everything into the ground. It's just terrible. That's about it. Oh yeah, we're actually recording, like Matt said, a wrestling episode tonight, which I know jack shit about wrestling, so that'll be fun. But I have my Drax the Destroyer shirt on, so I'm ready to go. And that's about it. And yeah, Jade, did you know the USA Today did an article about the top 10 small town craft beer spots, and Boone is one of them. And Booneshine was mentioned, which we had our first virtual brewery tour with our Sip of Sunshine members at Booneshine last week, and it was amazing.
Yeah, let's talk about that virtual tasting. I will be honest with you guys, even though I was the one who was organizing it with Nick, that was phenomenal. I mean, the insight that Nick gave, the talk about the beer industry. Personally, I told Nick an hour, and I think we were still chatting and probably could have chatted for 3 hours if I'd have let him continue on and keep it engaged. So my feeling was it was great. Excellent time. I'm looking forward to the next one with Common Law and Brad.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
they were turning the lights out on him.
We talked about that on Feeling Lucky too. And I said it. I think it's the most intimate brewery tour that I've ever been on. Like we could just like talk directly to the guy that's making the beer, and it was so cool and great fucking beer. So I don't know. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I would have to say if there was a textbook virtual tasting that I hope that we could continue on and do, that was that one, right? It was very engaging, very informative, was very transparent about what they do and the challenges they face and how they made some of the beer that he talked about. So,
and just being with Nick, it felt like we were there. Like it's like him showing us around and stuff. It felt like we were actually there, which was really cool. It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah. I would imagine. I mean, I know Brad, he's passionate about beer as well. So I would imagine
Brad's going to take us on a trip.
Yeah, this is
encyclopedia.
Sign up. Trust me. Sign up because Brad is going to blow your minds.
I've talked a little bit to Brad about it. We're going to have 3 beers. He's shooting for 3 beers. So I would expect this is going to be an hour and a half, 2 hour virtual tasting as well. And
One
we've
of
even
which is the
talked
one from
about,
Geeks, just saying.
yeah, we've even talked about the swag being a T-shirt. So,
Fuck yeah.
3 beers, a
You're
T-shirt.
gonna need a new one because I already have a common law one from when I
Yeah.
was down there. Just saying.
Yeah, 3 beers, a T-shirt, and a great time with the guy that's brewing the beer.
Here's a T-shirt and a great time. That sounds like a hell of a time, like a hell of a movie or something.
Yeah, I don't know how you put a price tag on that, but it'll be worth the price admission to get in on that one for sure. So if you're interested, check us out on Patreon. Got to be a Sip of Sunshine member right now to be a part of the pilots. And we've got one more coming up after Brad. New Barons is going to do our 3rd one. So looking forward to it, and then we'll discuss with everybody that's been involved and get some feedback and see where we go from there. But the first one was phenomenal. This next one I know is going to be every bit as good, and I would imagine New Barons would be the same way. So
Barons is gonna be awesome. I'll probably be there in person to give them like
Well, you-
good ass
you
recording
own that
equipment,
one,
but
right?
yeah, I own them. If you didn't know.
Lucky,
So
you
it'll
own a
basically be me.
brewery?
It'll be me probably talking to you guys, which I know nothing about beer, but whatever.
Wait a
It's-
minute.
it'll just
You
be me
own a
and
brewery?
some of my friends. Did you not hear, Jay? It's in my bio.
Jesus.
It's for sure in my bios. I don't know if you've checked.
I've listened to all your shows.
It honestly is at this point. If I had to make a resume, I would put that on there.
Yeah,
Just
I
for
would too,
giggles
as
when
much
I
as you
get
talk
in.
about it.
Just when I get in.
Look, you own a brewery. I brewed a beer. Lucky. I'm just saying. I think we've got a future in the biz together.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's start one.
We have no idea what we're doing. But
And
we're
a
escaping
basketball
this boring ass
podcast. And a
life we
basketball
currently-
podcast.
Yes.
And a basketball podcast.
Ooh, we could be a basketball sports themed brewery.
All right, but you gotta have heat
Beautiful.
up.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
The flames that are gonna like get our fucking
Yeah,
kettles
the
hot.
Dwayne Wade's. Come on, everybody loves Dwayne Wade.
Marquette,
All right, folks.
Marquette,
Appreciate
Dwayne
you
Wade,
joining
Marquette. I
us.
can do that.
Been a great evening. I'm out of my beer, so I'll cheers with an empty can.
Don't worry.
Check us out. Check out the folks, Feeling Luckies and Hops Geek. Always great content with these guys. Appreciate you joining us. Check us out next week. Have a great week.
Cheers. Love you
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
You held the shit out of that note. That was great.
What did I say?
All right, did you send the link yet, Matt? I'll go
I
ahead
did
and
send the
hop on
link.
with-
However, I got